Brand new Kia Sportage with a brand new Kia logo. This logo was introduced just recently. It's a new logo for Kia. Very solid, very dynamic. Now, if you look at the shape of this vehicle, you would say, hey, the older Sportage, remember this is the 5th generation Kia Sportage, 5th. Before that, the Kia Sportage was a bit taller, a bit shorter, maybe the same width. But now comes a longer Kia Sportage, slightly lower, the roofline is slightly lower, chunkier wheels, chunkier outlook in fact. And if you look at the overall design, from the nice chrome stripping below the belt line and the bed line, right down to the slightly muscular front, what really stands out, come this side cameraman, what really stands out is this whole new Kia face. Why? You got that boomerang design lights, and that boomerang design lights really makes a difference at night. Because why? If you're driving along in another car and you happen to see the rear view mirror and you see this, first thing that comes to your mind, is this an electric car? Because why? It's got that electric car vibe to its nose design. And I think that is what Kia is going for, because they've done really well with the Kia EV6. So with the Sportage and also the Sorento and the Carnival, which is their 3 best-selling vehicles right now, this makes a big difference to the average buyer. Now, you have nice design features, diamond-like grille, again, gives you that whole electric car vibe. But if you go to the side of the vehicle, that's where you start to notice that this vehicle sits in the same segment as the popular Honda CR-V, its sibling, you might say, the Hyundai Tucson, and of course, a whole bunch of new made in China vehicles, Chinese brands that have come into the market the last 1 year to dominate this segment. They are not completely dominating it, but their rise is very noticeable. Meanwhile, Kia has delivered a vehicle that is spacious, a vehicle that has got all the features you need, all the tech you need in front for the driver, and a large boot space. Now that's a large boot, and that's very important because people in this segment like to travel, and you get a full-size spare tire. Of course, it's a space saver, but full size in terms of diameter, saving kit, first aid kit, air pump, if and when you need it. You got a cover, which a lot of people say are missing in a lot of electric cars, but Kia gives it to you right here. The rear seats easily fold down. Stay there, Mr. Cameraman. I show you how easy this is. Not completely flat, but low enough for you to put a lot of stuff inside. So what you have here is a vehicle that sits in a very competitive segment, like I said before, but also a vehicle that is very stylish. Look at the design language. You could easily mistaken this car for something maybe even from China. But it's not, because Kia has been winning a lot of design awards for the past decade. All their vehicles at one time or another will win a design award. And they win it because they got great, long-lasting design. Now, did you know that the Kia Sportage is the best-selling Kia model globally? North America, Europe, and of course Korea, they do very well. Rest part of the world, they're doing well, but like I said earlier, we have brands from China coming in and taking away some of their shares, some of their market shares. So right now, this is on sale in Malaysia. 4 variants, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. We are test driving here the 1.6 turbo 2-wheel drive. I urge you to take it out and test drive it. If you need a 4-wheel drive, you buy a 4-wheel drive. But We are looking at a two-wheel drive because we think it's the best compromise of the lot. 177,000 ringgit. Let's take it out for a test drive and see what it's all about. Welcome to the cabin of the new Kia Sportage. You're probably thinking, is this a Kia electric car dashboard? It's not an electric car dashboard, but it looks a little bit like what you'll find in the Kia EV6, the electric car. So Kia has adapted what they've put into the electric car into their petrol-powered car. So start-stop button is here on the center console, right above the rotary gear knob. You got this beautiful large screen, curved screen. There's actually two screens in here with one glass in front. Let me show you. And you got the drive mode selected just below the gear shifter, which changes the look of your instrument cluster. And you've got all your functions just a touchscreen away. But let's take it for a drive. Turn to D. It's very responsive. That's how the Gamma engine is. 1.6 turbocharged Gamma engine. 177 horsepower. Estimated fuel economy is 6.3 liters to 100 kilometers of driving distance. This is a very interesting engine because why? The same engine is used across the board with Hyundai and Kia because Hyundai owns Kia, you know that already. So Kia has delivered a stylish cabin, a well-sized SUV as you've already seen, and with a 1.6 turbocharged engine, you have enough power, more than enough power, to move this with spirit or be a little bit more conservative if you're driving in city mode. Now, if you happen, see, a little bit of wheel spin just by tapping the throttle. Now, if you happen to go into a Kia showroom in the next few weeks or few months to have a look at this vehicle, please take your time to look around the cabin to actually, understand how they've put together this cabin, because Kia and Hyundai have done a very good job for the last few years to put together solid, well-built, purposeful cabins. They are thinking global. All their vehicles are global. And when I say global, I'm saying quality, material, functionality, everything is global. And that's the beauty about having a Kia or a Hyundai. They don't differentiate between markets. You have different variants. Like Malaysia, you have 4 variants. Okay, you have a 2-liter high and low spec. You got a 1.6 turbo high and low spec. Of course, this is the 2-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive is a high spec. But I'm thinking to myself, at 177,000 ringgit for this variant, 2-wheel drive, 1.6 turbo, it's good enough. You're not going to go off-road. You don't really need 4-wheel drive. But if you want to put down a bit more money and get the 4-wheel drive, I'm not saying no, but let's think about it. Do you really need it? Now, this is the great feature that came in when we first saw it in the last Elantra. When you put on your signal, you get a little camera showing you what's happening on the right-hand side. Left-hand side, same thing. Which means you have very good vision without even wondering whether you can see it in your blind spot in your side view mirrors. So right side, left side. Good feature to have. This is what Honda calls lane watch. Kia has it on both sides. Despite its large size, as you know, this is the 5th generation Sportage. It's grown in size. It's still quite nimble. And who are its rivals? Right now, mostly brands from China, because China has come in very strong with their range of SUVs. So you're probably going to ask me, what about brand A, brand B, brand J, brand C, from China? Do they compete? Well, they have a different set of features, I think when it comes to safety features, they're all about the same. Yeah, I think it's all about the same because Kia has got a long set of features on this vehicle. Drive dynamics, about the same. Somehow or other, I think Kia has got slightly better drive dynamics, very close to what you find in, mid-size European SUVs. Because Kia has been doing this much longer, and they know how to get the tuning a bit nicer. Seat comfort, I think about the same. Space, definitely both tick all the boxes. But the one thing you got to remember, Kia has been here a long time. Kia reliability after sales, rock solid. So that's a big selling point when you want to buy something in this price segment between 150 to 200,000 ringgit. So what is it like in the back seat? Because you carry passengers when you buy an SUV. Getting in easy. The height is just nice. Slide in. And what you'll notice, power sockets here. Now this is an interesting feature on both seats. So rear passengers get to charge their devices using the power sockets. You got hooks to hang your takeaway food, whatever. You can hang your jackets here. Both seats have it. Nice chunky headrest for the driver and front passenger. Moving aside, you got enough space for 3 adults, no issue. Now, if you want to put the center armrest down, of course, you can't put a third adult. But these seats are also able to recline a little bit, as you can see. This one is not reclined, this one is reclined. So you get added comfort. If you're taking the family out for a long drive, interstate, you got that added comfort. Now, just lever is here, and you can put it upright or lean it a little bit. Added comfort, very important for rear passengers. Big chunky door handles. Let's get in the front. Straightforward charging points. I told you about the screen, right? It's actually 2 screens but covered by this nice curved glass that sits very nicely on this dashboard, just like in the Kia Sorento, the bigger brother, and also the Kia Carnival, the huge MPV. Nice, well-built touch and feel points. The material finish is really good, like all Kias before. Rotary knob for your gear shifter, like we mentioned earlier. Drive mode, also a rotary knob. Normal, sport. Then you've got engine start stop here. Now you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all ready for you to go. You just have to connect it. Easy to use screen. You even have quiet mode. Now what is quiet mode? Quiet mode puts the sound system more for the front driver and passenger and less to the rear. So you have people who want to, lie down at the back, sleep. They want to be well rested. You got all kinds of other. You got even sounds of nature, which came first in the electric car. Look at that. And it actually sounds like sounds of nature. But what I found interesting about this car is that you look at this panel here, right? So now this panel is operating. I can use this for the volume. Plus you got little functions here, which you don't have to go in there. It's like quick functions. But if I click this, now it's ready to operate my AC functions. So this now becomes my temperature. Can you see that? I click here. I got other functions to use, and this becomes my volume. And if I click here again, this is for air conditioning. Now that's a feature I've not seen in any other vehicle to date. And I think that's very innovative from the people at Kia, because they're just trying to make things a little bit different, a little bit easier for people to work with. So well done for innovation, well done for thinking to make something easy to use, which you don't have to go into the screen, you just have to use it here. And birds singing with sea. Rainy day, we get enough rain here. Calming sea waves if you miss the beach. So that's the cabin of this Kia Sportage. 177,000, multifunction steering wheel, pedal shifters. I got to say again, 177,000 might seem, a little bit high for some of you because the competition might be priced low. And when I talk about competition, I'm talking about the new competition. But go into a showroom, take it for test drive, understand what you're getting for your money and the space, and that very, very perky 1.6 liter engine which you experienced earlier. Thank you for watching dsf.my, and share your comments. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. We learn from comments. We are not afraid of any negative comments, if any.